I've made some tiny progresses since I uploaded the last video, and I would say it would be more of a refactorization, but like I said, I did some progresses on graphics side, so I'd like to talk about that first. So as you can see, I've added a camera system. So if I press WASD, I could move forward, backward, left and right. And also if I move the mouse, I could move around the view. It's just to observe the world. I think it's pretty common. And also I've introduced more cubes, a few more cubes, and each cube has its own role. For instance, this cube is meant to be a water so that he can drink. And also this is a food that he can eat. And this is a predator. So I haven't implemented a collision system yet, but once I did that, and if this agent collided with the predator, his life would be decreased. It's pretty predictable stuff. So yeah, and also I fixed the graphics issue um, where the cube looked pretty a bit dragged. I had blocky edges, so I fixed it by setting this to 4, which applies anti-aliasing or MASS by dividing each pixels into 4 regions and blend them to smoothly render. And I also had to set I'm sorry, I also I have to set both count to 4 for the swap chain and depth buffer. Otherwise, I could see cube through another cube. I was having depth issue if I was leaving this to 1, like I used to do in the past. And I also had to set this to texture 2DMS, otherwise the program would crash. So it was, yeah, I think graphics API thing I have to learn, and yeah. And I think this is it for the graphics side. And once I implement the collision system, I would implement the neural network. I think I'm going to work on reinforcement learning and make this cube or AI moves. And yeah, like I'm saying this is AI devlog, but I haven't even written any AI related code yet. So I think so far I'm just playing around with and learning with graphics API. So with the refactorization I've been saying is that so before I start this new project, I was working on this folder where I have a bunch of, not bunch of, but some models I implemented, like CNN and RNNs, and I was trying to implement the transformer. And yeah, so the reason I started this project is my attitude toward, or the way of thinking, the way I think about AI has changed. And I wanted to clear my mindset as well. And you know, when I was working on this new project, I saw some files that aren't related to this project, some redundancy, I would say. For instance, this dataset file. So I would say, like, so I'm saying, like, I have new mindset to AI now, and so I don't. I started to hate the idea of training or pre-training the model using dataset. I mean, I'm planning to train this AI agent, but not going to use this kind of, like, this is stock price dataset and iris and MNS dataset. I mean, at the moment, I don't need any kind of these kind of data sets. So, and when I see these files hanging around in my folder when I was working on this new project, it was really annoying. So, and once I started doing doing this kind of refactorization, I saw some other redundancy in my project, and I mean, yeah, I think most of the files are really much could be discarded. So yeah, I made a new file and I just copied stuff that I need for this new project. I mean, as you can see, it just I mean, this is not a new file. So this is the new folder I created for this project, and there's just a bunch of files related to graphics. And then later, once I felt, some of the files in this folder are needed, I'm gonna extract those that files, like this tensor file as well. As you can see, there are some also unnecessarily stuff in this class as well. So what I'm trying to say is that, I see some redundancy once I started a new project. I think that's because my mindset or attitude for the AI has changed. Yeah, I think that's what that's what I was trying to say or wanted to say. And also I did another refactorization is that I did some clean up for the graphics code. I mean, so before I was writing all the graphics related code into this class code renderer, but I pretty much encapsulated into each individual files. For instance, I made this class code device manager, which just prepares DirectX 11 resources, device context, swap chain, render target, and so on. And I just called initialize. So the renderer owns this device manager, and it would call init on this device manager, and it would create all the necessary resources. And I also factored. So I made a buffer class which would create vertex shader, vertex index, and constant buffers, which would be called like here. So mesh class owns vertex and index buffers by using this class and call the create function. And also the shader class is also factored. And I call this, so the renderer owns this shader class and call the load shader function. I think this is pretty common, but yeah, I just wanted to do this refactorization because as you can see before it was like this and I didn't know what was going on, and now it's much clearer that what I'm doing and how graphics API works and so on. And there's nothing much changed on in main function. So yeah, that's it for the that's pretty much it for the refactorization. And this is the camera function, I mean the class. You would rotate using yaw and pitch, and this is used in here by, so when I create WVP matrix, I call this function on camera struct to get to retrieve the view and projects matrix. Yeah, so I think this is it for today's video, and like I said, I think I'm gonna work on neural network soon and make him moves, make him, yeah. Yes, so thanks for sticking to the end of the video, and as always, thanks for all the supports, and yeah, thanks.